Of course, I commend everyone that comes into the gym and that's there to work hard. But not only do we want to work hard in our fitness journey, we also want to work smart, right? So that means that you need to periodically be, you know, pushing either the reps or the weight that you're using. And if you are strength training in the right way, if you are eating in the right way, then, the sky's the limit, right? I would say every 3 to 4 weeks, you should be, if you're able to do your 3 sets of 12 at a certain weight and you finish those 12 reps and you're like, oh man, I could have done a few more. That means it's time to upgrade, right?
Yeah.
That means it's time to get to that next step. And more importantly, get out of your comfort zone, because a lot of the times we'll sell ourselves short. Oh, I went to the gym today. I did a great job, right? When really the reality could be, hey, maybe I only pushed myself 60%. Maybe I went, but I only gave 60%. And, for myself and all my clients, I expect that you're giving 85, 90, 95%. The reason why I'm not saying 100%, which might sound a little ironic, is a lot of people, especially beginners, when they go into the gym, they come in hard, they come in fast, they attack, they give literally their all. But then what ends up happening after that is they're sore for 3 days. So they can't even work out or move. They're hurting everywhere.
The being sore, I actually like it.
Sure thing.
Like I feel like I did CrossFit for the first time.
Very nice.
Like 3 days ago.
Yep.
My abs are still on fire. How do you feel about that? Let's say not beginners. Like we're talking about a little bit medium to advanced level.
Sure.
Should you go in and like kill yourself every single day, or do you have a system for that?
Yeah, so I think it really comes down to individual by individual, of course, but at the end of the day, most people in the gym, and I know people are going to agree or disagree with this, but are not training hard enough. Most people that go to the gym are not training hard enough to see and create the physiological changes that they want to create, right? So that's where this concept of what you measure, you can monitor, right? If you're doing the exact same weights for months on end, sure, you might be getting a great pump. Sure, you're working your body, but you're not challenging yourself in the way to actually promote the change or the result that you want to see. Does that make sense?
Yes, but what would that look like? Because I've done some workouts where it's like, man, I went hard, like it was painful.
Of course.
And I went hard.
Yep.
And I'm spent.
Yes.
And I'm in pain, and it's like you have to pull your demons and everything to like, and you push and you went far.
Yep.
But I don't do those like all the time.
Of course.
Is that the level that you're talking about, or like where do we like the range from like 1 to 10?
Yeah, I would say if you can do an 8.5 to a 9 every time, not only are you pushing yourself, but you're going to be in a place where you're going to be somewhat recovered at least by the next time you do that session, right? If you're trying to train every muscle group at least twice per week, the first day that you do it and another 2 to 3 days, you can go back and train the same muscle group without feeling completely fatigued or completely worn out or not really allowing your body to recover in the right way. So, I think 8.5 to 9 is a great sweet spot, which is going to allow you to feel good, know that you went in, know that you trained hard, but also be ready for that next session, right? Because when it comes to fitness, this isn't just something that we do for 2 or 3 weeks and then we're done.
Yeah.
We're talking about, and especially for my clients, especially when we're talking about creating long-term change, we're talking about something that you're going to do for the rest of your life.
So what are some like cool stories of people that you have worked with and then they make this massive change and you're like, wow, like this shit actually works,
Yeah, so my favorite is always working with my female clients. One, because I think there's a lot of just additional pressure that, is placed on them to fall into society's, standards of beauty. And, also, especially in the South Asian community, one of the first things people always bring up is your body. And it's always, hey, you either lost too much weight, you're way too skinny, or you gained a lot of weight, you need to go on a diet kind of thing. So one of the biggest things that I love helping my female clients realize is that strong is the new skinny, right? So we're all here to be the strongest versions of ourselves. I always encourage them to take up more space instead of feeling like they need to shrink to accommodate for others. and just like helping them have that confidence in themselves. A lot of them, when they come into my program, are overtraining and undereating.
Really?
So, yes, overtraining and undereating, because they have this concept of, you know, I need to do not just do my training session, but I need to do all this cardio on top, and then food is the enemy. So let me just restrict. But
Yeah.
we all know when we overly restrict, what ends up happening is you end up craving those foods a lot more. You know, and when those cravings do hit, and when you give up that control because it's not a lifestyle, it's not something you can keep up with, you end up going into kind of like this binge cycle, right? So restrict. Maybe the weekend comes along, or maybe there's this event, and then you just completely let go, right? So that's also could be more similar, tied into the all in or nothing approach when it comes to fitness. And in this particular situation, we're referring to nutrition specifically. So I think one of the biggest things is helping my clients realize that, you know, if they just come from more of a place of compassion, if they actually start, like we talked about earlier, fuel their body in the right way, see food as something that's literally fuel for their body. The more they eat, of course, it needs to be the right types of foods, but the better food choices that they make, it's going to allow them to actually get stronger, recover faster, and just be a better athlete in general.